Gentlemen, Totem Pole Nation, welcome back. It's showtime.
Time.
Fellas, what's going on?
Not too much, although it still says scheduled on my side.
Doesn't say live.
No.
Well, we are live. We are
Yep.
live and in living color. We're like the Wayans brothers and Jim Carrey. All right, we are at the top of our game, even though we are the low man on the totem pole. And he's got polk high because he played
High school football, baby. High
Polk
school
County,
football.
Florida.
This is
The
this is
Wild
the
West
only
of Florida.
that's the only thing they saw though. They saw that running past them. That was it.
He played high school football. Now he's down in the south side of St. Petersburg selling women's shoes.
Boom.
That's right, man.
Every woman wants to get fitted by Coach Bald. Now, Coach Bald, you had the best intentions when you contacted the legend, the GOAT, Dick LeBeau, through Cameo. And for $59 out of your own pocket, you paid Dick LeBeau to do a message for Coach McNally. Would you like to talk about that, sir?
You know, I go to places all the time and have poor service, and I will still drop more than that on a tip. You know what I'm saying? My intentions were just to connect two legends. And I thought it would have been something that Coach would have liked. You know, I thought it was just utmost respect, and that's the reason. That's was my intentions were just reconnecting a couple of legends. You know what that money meant nothing to me. You know what I mean?
There's
Connecting people.
a couple low guys on the totem pole can get Dick LeBeau to do a message for Jim McNally. I mean, come on. Like, we're the low man on the totem pole. How do we even have access to Dick LeBeau and Jim McNally? That's big time for us. For them, they just think they're regular guys. Like what you're saying, Coach. Treat
Yeah, man.
regular people like what?
You treat regular people like rock stars, and then you treat rock stars like regular people, and you will get places, you will go places, you will do great things. And yeah, man, that was all my intentions were. You know, I am guilty. I apologize, Coach McNally. You have had such an amazing influence on my life, and we've never even met. You know, I think that's what being a hero is all about. You know, you can influence somebody from miles away, but when you're talking to me, sometimes it feels like I'm the only one in the room, and that's what's important to me. I apologize. I never wanted to ever disrespect you, hurt your feelings, feel like I wasted anybody's time. That was the last intention that I had. All I wanted to do was put the spotlight on you and let you know that I care about you. I love you. The McNally dunk is going to be with me and my family and my grandson and my grandkids for life. So I appreciate you. You are a legend. Please forgive me.
Coach Hutch,
Yes.
are you familiar with the McNally dunk?
I am not, but I am kind of amused by how much drama we've had here in Totem Pole Nation over the past few months.
Hey, some people don't like the drama. Some people are baby faces. We are not. All right, now, there were some messages sent since we last met. One being from Tito Santana. Coach Hutch, did you see the message that was sent from Tito Santana?
I did. WWE Hall of Famer. Went in 2014. Guy's a beast.
Did you see the message?
Yes.
How did you feel that Tito Santana is bringing the heat to?
I think it's awesome. It's funny that it's all directed towards one person on our roster. I definitely find it interesting that he's getting the lots of people actually throwing heat his way, throwing shade his way.
The one that surprised me the most was Kurt Angle.
Yes.
I don't know how Kurt Angle got involved with this. He's probably friends with the Sheik. But Coach Bald, what did you think about Kurt Angle and what he had to say in Tito Santana towards the madness?
It's epic. Tito Santana, one of the best intercontinental champions of all time, and he had such an amazing feud, with the Macho Man Randy Savage. Way back when, him and his legendary battles with Don the Rock Morocco. Man, there's so many battles. That was just for me. Just seeing Tito Santana brightened my day. Seeing some of these guys I haven't seen in a while, man, that meant everything, man. I love Tito Santana and Kurt Angle. I mean, you're talking about one of the greatest Olympic champions of all time. The guy broke his neck, won the gold medal. If anybody, if you listen to anybody, Kurt Angle is probably that guy to listen to. But man, I'll tell you what, the promo back, the clap back to go after Brock Lesnar, and to also call in the Cyborg, our guy. I mean, we got to get this guy. We got to get this guy a match, man. Everybody's running from this guy. It seems like I don't know. I don't think Brock Lesnar or Kurt Angle want a piece of Cyborg.
Coach Bald, if you could do me a favor, and actually it would be for Totem Pole and for Cyborg, if you could compile clips of his knockouts, and we will tweet it at all the fight promoters that we can, because we got to get Cyborg in the cage, in the octagon. Like I said, any division, the guy does not back down from anybody. He's there. He'd fight anybody. I mean, the guy would fight Hafthor Bjornsson if he was in the UFC. He has the world's strongest man. He's the mountain on Game of Thrones, but he would not back down. So if we could do that, just like a 10 or 20-second clip, because his knockouts are like that, and they're all first rounders.
Right.
So you can just put that at the bottom. Next thing you know, send it out and say, who wants a piece of the madness? The Cyborg. Man. Not without the madness. All right, madness, everybody wants a piece of. Cyborg, people are skittish. And that just hits home for me. I was, do mixed martial arts, and I was scheduled to do my first fight, and I got myself down, weighed 285, got down to 270. The guy I was supposed to fight was 240, and I was too heavy once he saw me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it doesn't matter. Back when there was no weight classes.
Right.
It does not matter. A fighter's a fighter. It's not the size of the dog in the fight. We've heard that for, generations.
Yeah. Amen, man. Definitely. And, me and him communicate a lot more, just through messages and stuff like that. And, he don't want to limit this either. He'll do the bare knuckle boxing. He'll do that. He'll do the power slap. He'll do anything that you need. You want to test somebody where you can hit me and I can hit you back. He's game for anything like that. So definitely, we got to get this guy. We got to get more views on it, man.
I just think he looks at home in the octagon, in the cage.
Yeah. He is.
I think if it's not going his way, then go into the power slap, stuff like that. But man, the guy is on a path of just destruction right now. So getting him, another fight. This is a guy that I think in the next 3 years, you're only going to see him fight 2, 3, 4 times a year, because he's going to bring that caliber of fight that he's going to be, in the opportunity for a championship. And that's what I'm saying. Champions only fight a few times a year, retain that belt. I do see Cyborg as a guy that would fight 10 times a year if you asked him to.
Yeah.
But I see his trajectory being exactly that, towards championship.
He is, man. He's an electrifying athlete. You know what I mean? Like he went to Lakewood. He ran side by side with the Griffin twins. He's over there throwing up weight with Isaiah Wynn, man. The guy is he's a freak of nature. He fights like a middleweight. How many guys you see throwing head kicks that are heavyweights, just hitting people in the chin and just putting them to sleep like that. You don't see a whole lot.
Far between. I remember Stipe was the one that could do it. Crow Cop.
Oh man, the Crow Cop. Ooh, them Crow Cop leg kicks. Holy cow.
Again, few and far between. You only have a guy it's almost not like, I don't say every generation, maybe UFC generation being every 4 years or so.
So has the Cyborg ever been trained by the grappler? Does he know the grappler? Has he met him? Because that seems like a guy that could help the Cyborg take his career to the next level. A legend.
Yeah, you're right, man. I have not linked those guys up, and I do apologize. I did have a podcast with Grappler. We both had some technical difficulties, but on that podcast, man, it was so magical. It was only about 15 minutes, but he unleashed some knowledge that most people don't know. That whole who dey chant. Everybody thinks it came from the Cincinnati Bengals or the New Orleans Saints. No, that all originated from the Junkyard Dog. His song coming down was Another One Bites the Dust by Queen, but the fans would all yell, who dat, who dat think they gonna beat that dog? And the whole place would just erupt until he came to the ring. And yeah, Grappler told us how he attacked him as he was coming in the ring, started beating him with his chain, and then a guy pulled a gun. He said the guy had like an Undertaker type jacket, pulled a 357 on him. Two cops wrestled the guy to the ground, and it was awesome. Like he didn't even find out till after the match. One of the officers, two of the officers, that's how legit it was in Louisiana, man. Two officers would walk down with you, to make sure people weren't, throwing bottles at you and stuff like that.
Hey, Coach Hutch.
The wrestling days. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Your monitor that you're looking at, is there any way to bring it down?
No, not particularly. I know I'm looking up to the greats up there, man.
I think we have it stacked on some coffee cans or some type of old computers.
Old PC monitor.
We are the low man on the totem pole. All right, now, Frank the Tank. There's been some bad blood between Totem Pole Nation and Barstool, but we settled the beef. There was no beef because Sarah Blake Cheek went up there and did a podcast with Only Stands, a podcast. But now Frank the Tank is coming at the madness. Coach Bald, what did Frank the Tank say about the madness in Totem Pole Nation?
Hey, man, he just kind of McNally dunked it, if you will, man. He was about to just dipped that toilet paper right in the water and just wiped it one more good time. You know what I mean? He has some heat towards the madness, which madness is a heat-seeking machine. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The guy's not like us. He's different. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys you'd probably rather have on your team than have to go against him. I'll say that about him. The only thing I can predict about him is unpredictability.
Ooh. I like it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Frank the Tank loves to bash on Totem Pole, but like I said, anything positive or negative, we love it. Throw it our way, no matter what.
But we're not millionaires. We don't switch our team from the Nets to the Knicks and then get denied entrance into Knicks Nation by the Knicks fans after that.
I'm a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. As we won a Super Bowl, then we're terrible, setting records for worst first half home deficits, and then win another Super Bowl. So through the highs and lows, you got to stick with it no matter what.
Yeah. And my team, the Grizzlies, they're out. They had 3 guys injured. They were terrible. The Lakers were the better team. And now they're going on to play Steph Curry, who might end up being the GOAT. I mean, the guy had no offers coming out of high school. He went to Davidson. Gentlemen, could you have gotten into Davidson? You can only have 2 C's on your high school transcript. If you have more than 2 C's, you can't get into Davidson. We had Coach Abel, their head coach, on the Championship Football Coaches Clinic, sponsored by Sports Workbook, the Top Hopper, Rat Coach, Tip the Spear. We have a lot of sponsors, and they're great. But can y'all believe that? Could y'all have gotten into Davidson, Coach Bald?
Not even close. Not even close. My transcripts, the 2 C's were probably the best grades, unfortunately. Hey, man, it's true. It's true.
If I did homework, then yes. But there's a reason why my students don't have homework in my class, because I would not do homework.
You don't believe in homework.
Brilliant.
We're at school. Kids are at school for 7-8 hours. Long time after that too. If they got clubs and extra activities, then they might have work and they got family stuff. No, you got your hour and a half with me. That's what we're gonna do.
I totally agree.
You need to be a principal one day, man. That was beautiful right there, man. I want to go back to school.
Well, he will be in administration one day.
Heck yeah, man.
Educational leadership, I've always thought it's an oxymoron. Because, we have great administration here at Bird, but, most of the schools I've been at, you don't have to be educated or leader to be in educational leadership. But Jim Tim is bringing the fire today. I could get into Davidson. I was in the 49th percentile. Well, that reminds me of the story of Lou Holtz.
I'll say there's only 2 in the class.
Lou Holtz said that he was 150th out of 170. And the principal said it wasn't particularly a very smart class overall. That's what he said. His guidance counselor said, Lou, you know how some people don't know what's going on? And he said, yes. She said, well, you have no clue that anything might be going on. Well, hey, I mean, he's Lou Holtz, 49th percentile. Very good. Jim, I wouldn't expect anything less from you. Coach Hutch, what percentile were you in?
I don't know. I was in the percentile of playing great football and having great parties.
Well, thank you for the confession today.
Yeah, you can balance it out.
Kid do kinds of tests to test their knowledge. Yes, like C.J. Stroud. I would be in the 18th percentile. All right. Bryce Young was in the 98th percentile. So, Coach Hutch, look at that backdrop.
Yeah, he's living the dream down there. That's the one thing I miss about Florida is, 3 months ago, you could still go outside in a tank top and shorts.
Man.
Yeah, guys, the weather is between 72 and 82 for the rest of for the
we're
next
gonna
2
make a
weeks.
trip down there. I don't know exactly when, but
hey, push, pull, or drag, man. Let's make it happen.
It's gonna happen. Like I said, I got my good buddy moving down there to St. Pete. I still got friends in Polk County in Bartow, Florida.
Yeah.
Lot to do down there.
We don't want no good principal. We want Coach Hutch.
Yeah.
Hey, what happens in Florida gets on the front page of the news.
You could be like Joe Clark.
You kind of look like
East Side High.
Yeah, man. You kind of got that Florida man kind of locks, bro. You'd be right in, man.
Yeah, my hair will get bleached.
How much longer will you be growing the hair out?
I want to say 2 or 3 more months, probably right around time season starts. I think it'll be long enough to cut. It's a pain. It's just so much stuff that, I want somebody else to. I've been blessed with great hair. I've had people tell me everywhere I go, no matter what state I've been, when people talk to me, one of the first things they always mention is my hair. And I've always thought, I don't care about it, but there are people in this world that aren't blessed with the hair, that have different things. You're going through cancer, you're going through, I'm blanking because I still haven't had my coffee, the alopecia, that don't have the opportunity to get hair. So I thought I would pass that on, and it's a gesture. And to be honest, I've paid for it. A lot of times when people go, they get the free haircut, and I said, no, I'm going to pay you, and then I'm going to ship it down, and I'm going to throw in a donation and, do it all. And actually do for wigs for kids. So I don't do some of the other ones that sell a lot of the hair. The wigs for kids, they actually work directly with kids and make sure that they're actually getting, high quality stuff, as opposed to other places that are selling hair and doing all sorts of shady stuff.
Yeah, there are some great wigs. Have either two of you ever been into a beautiful?
A beautiful?
You're gonna have to smarten me up on that.
Well, it's a wig store and various other hair and nail salons, but they have wigs. I could go buy a Coach Hutch wig for probably about $40 at a Beautiful. Okay, and I probably will. I need to get some long hair. All right. I think I would feel like I think I would run around who is that crazy guy, man, with the Freebirds?
Michael Hayes.
Ooh.
Michael P.S. Hayes.
That's the hair I want. That's a perm.
You are our Kevin Nash. That is Big Daddy Cool Diesel right there, man. It almost looks Undertaker-ish.
I told you, he looks like the Undertaker, man.
Yeah, when I went down to WWE, I actually threw some blonde highlights underneath. So when I would get hit and it would flop around, it would kind of catch the light a little bit more. And then found out, like, the place that actually gives, wigs for kids, it actually gives it to kids with cancer and stuff like that. You can't have any coloring or nothing in there, any treatments or whatnot. And every time, I'm sure you've heard of it. I've never gotten one, Coach Ball, but there's a thing called the Brazilian blowout. And every hairdresser I ever went to was like, you got to do the Brazilian to straighten your hair for forever. And same concept.
I think they do the Brazilian at
the Beautiful too.
Rejuvenate.
Nah.
They do some other rejuvenations, okay?
Go, man.
But not the Brazilian rejuvenation.
But yeah, you can't have anything whatsoever. It's got to be all natural. So no dyes, no tints, no nothing. The blonde hair looked great. I might end up bringing that back, but this will be the last time I think I'm going to donate, because also I think it's the last time I'm going to have naturally not gray hair.
Hey, man. Embrace it.
No gray hair in there.
I got no gray hairs, no.
Wow. Well, hang around me for a couple more years, and that will change.
Well, we're going to win a state championship, so it'll be good stress.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of won the state championship this week. We got the silver play button. We got the cool clinic. Marty Jannetty. I don't even remember who Marty Jannetty is. You got me, Jim Tim. Who is Marty Jannetty? Is he a manager?
I'm going to Google that.
No, Marty Jannetty was the tag team partner of the Rockers.
Spelled it wrong, that's why.
He's the guy that Shawn Michaels kicked in the face on the barbershop, broke the glass. One of the best heel turns of all time.
Oh, so he was actually, these guys were the fake Rock and Roll Express.
There you go. There you have it.
People say that Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time. You were the fake Rock and Roll Express.
Yep, you were almost as good as Ricky Morton.
Yeah, he partnered with Razor Ramon in the mid-'90s.
Yeah, the greatest of all time.
Bad guy.
And I will be getting a wig, Jim Tim. We have a blonde wig. We have a couple blonde wigs.
We've got patty wigs. We've got all sorts of different stuff.
Yeah, we have all kinds of different stuff that we use for our different skits that we need to get back to. We probably will one day. But tonight, big night for Totem Pole Nation for the Championship Football Coaches Clinic. Alex Marable, the offensive line coach for the Miami Hurricanes, is coming on. And then at 8 o'clock, Don Brown, the guy that likes to blitz, the head coach at UMass. He was the defensive coordinator for Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, but he's not afraid to bring the pressure. He brings it. Hey, how about those Washington defenders? And Reggie Barlow spoke multiple times at the Championship Football Coaches Clinic. Now he's won the XFL championship, correct?
No, that championship is this coming weekend.
He won the semifinals.
Oh, so that wasn't the championship.
They're in the game. They have punched their ticket.
Yeah, what do they call their Super Bowl? Is it Football Mania, like WrestleMania? Game. The what?
That would be a good name.
Well, let's trademark it. Football Mania. Oh. Instead of WrestleMania. Where is The Rock? He's only an hour from here in Charlottesville. The Rock, get on the Totem Pole Life Lessons podcast. He was the partner of Shawn Michaels. You are exactly correct, Jim Tim. Jim Tim, you are a 5-star today. Draft. Who had the best draft, Coach Bald?
You know what? To me, the rich got richer, man. Both of the Philadelphia teams, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers loaded up, and the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they spell Eagles with the Georgia G now. You know what I mean? They got 3 starters from Georgia, probably going to come in and contribute immediately. You know, that was just huge in my opinion. Steelers. I mean, both of those teams. Steelers always seem to draft very well. So I'm not surprised, but that's the 2 teams I give the top grades to.
I'll tell you, Kansas City had a very, very great undrafted free agent pick that's going to make their defense even better than before. That is a NC State graduate.
Skyhawk, right?
That is a LC Bird Skyhawk graduate. That's Isaiah Moore, who I saw him at Texas Tech versus NC State, and man, he was the standout player on the whole field, offense, defense.
Is he going to be a backer?
More than likely. If I had to put him there, I think he'd be a good outside backer in the NFL.
Man, he's a freakazoid.
But Detroit. People were asking me if he was going to get it. I'm like, man, it's dumb if somebody passes him up. And I think what the Chiefs did was smart. They didn't have to spend a lot of money on a draft pick, and they were able to still pick him up. You know, a player like that, I'm surprised he didn't get drafted.
I mean,
but the draft
how many rounds is it now?
Yeah.
Is it 7 or 6?
7.
And he did
they
get
only
drafted.
Get 7, 32 teams only get 7 picks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of football players. And I'd rather be an undrafted free agent.
More guys go undrafted, end up staying longer in the league. And that's kind of back to my thought, the other day, talking about the draft is I really don't care about the draft. You know, it's nice to see players get picked up, yes. But in terms of what it's going to do come September, a lot of times it doesn't matter. These guys pick a guy from another team. They trade draft picks. They move around. I mean, I love watching Hard Knocks and seeing those guys try to make the team. But that's different than guy gets picked. I mean, how many first-round draft picks actually stay in the league longer than a few years? You know, I remember Nebraska's quarterback, was it Eric Crouch? Eric Couch, yeah. You know, guy won the Heisman, goes in first round and doesn't play.
Yeah. Talking about Hard Knocks.
Hard
Bob
Knocks
Wiley.
One of my favorite things to watch.
Set Hut. Bob Wiley, who is a friend of Coach Bald. And Coach McNally said, I'm not upset at Coach Bald and what he did. And then I said, Coach Wiley, Coach Bald is a friend of yours. And Coach Wiley was very stoic. He was very stoic and he was very stern. He was very concerned because his friend, ever since he coached Pop Warner football, Jim McNally was upset. He was fired up. And it didn't help that I was laughing while he was cussing me out and cussing you out.
I think you made it worse, Coach.
Wiley. Bob Wiley said that there is an episode somewhere out there about the life and times of Bob Wiley. The guy can fly an airplane. Okay, that is pretty awesome. He plays the drums. Can you believe that Bob Wiley set the Guinness Book World Record for the longest offensive line podcast of all time? 5 hours. And it took 3 hours before we found out that there was a 5-second delay between our questions and him. He was answering his own questions, but he was actually watching it on YouTube and taping it on StreamYard. Because I made the mistake to send Paul Boudreau. Paul Boudreau's been with 8 NFL teams. So is Bob Wiley. They've had the most jobs of any coach in the NFL. And Coach McNally. 3 legends. And, hey, he talked about a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. He talked about being in the moment. Coach Bob Wiley, Coach Bald. Can you believe that Coach Bob Wiley has came on Totem Pole Nation, came on the Championship Football Coaches Clinic?
I'm not surprised one bit. You know, he's one of my favorites. You know, when I went to the clinic back in the day, you know, I sat right up front because, you know, when you can get access to, you know, one of the greatest of all times. Man, you sit up front, you take notes. I had pages and pages of notes, but he asked for somebody to help. You know, I was the chair. You know what I mean? I raised my hand. I walked over there, and first thing he said is, "You guys keep an eye on this guy. He's built like a D lineman. He's in here. He's stealing all our stuff. Keep an eye on this guy." You know, but man, just treated me awesome. Had a great time. You know, gave me his personal information afterwards. I bought his videos. You know, and I've passed that. I've shared that information with guys that I'm you know, really tight with that are in the OL community. So yeah, man, what a blessing. And you know, I tell you, man, we need to get Dante Scarnecchia on here next. That's a guy we need to get. I believe he's available. So let's see about making that happen, man.
Hey, the New England Clinic that is in Rhode Island, which is not next to Delaware. It's next to Boston, Massachusetts. New Englanders, I'm sorry. You know what I am.
We're closer to Delaware than New
I'm a
England.
hillbilly, and I don't know my geometry. And it is what it is. I mean, someone said, "Hey, do you know where Minnesota is?" No, it's where everybody's got blonde hair and blue ears. All right.
That's right.
That was a joke, but it didn't work. That's a Lou Holtz joke.
No, I get it.
Every time,
Tell you what we need to
I
do.
looked at Minnesota on a map, it was blue.
We got to get Coach McNally on a mega bus and bring him down for one of our practices.
Well, he was tweeting at Deion Sanders. He said he can help Colorado's offensive line. So yesterday when he FaceTimed me, we went over their whole staff. He does know Tim Brewster. Tim Brewster has brought him out before at other places he's been. But he said he doesn't want to be in a plane for 4 hours.
$6.
That's John Madden style right there.
So we're Totem Pole.
We need the McNally bus. We need
McNally mania.
I think that the Madden bus should be converted into the McNally bus. All right. It needs to be used. All right. The Madden Cruiser. Because Coach McNally's the offensive line coach. Coach Madden was an offensive line coach. Dante Scarnecchia, I was supposed to get him. I haven't heard from the New England Clinic guys. But tonight, Don Brown, he's the head coach of Massachusetts. They know all these guys. So
we're in
this
the loop.
week in Totem Pole Nation, Coach Bald, what's the plans? What do we see happening in Totem Pole? Anything that you know of in particular? Will the grappler be back on?
You know, we're gonna reach out to him, see when it's available. You know, see when he wants to get back on. But yeah, man, today also we're going to break some news later on. This is breaking news, but St. Pete Rejuvenate, our raffle, our free month giveaway. We will be announcing the winner. We might be announcing winners, plural. It's been great. We've had a lot of people sign up for that. So we're going to make a game-changing, life-changing podcast here. I don't know, maybe noonish, one-ish, something like that. But we'll go live with it when we're ready to go. So that's kind of what I got going on right now.
So we got Alex Marable tonight, Don Brown tonight.
Nice.
You know, Coach McNally will be speaking on Friday and Saturday. Well, he'll speak Saturday morning at the Clinic for Autism, put on by PJ Gibbs. Totem Pole Nation is just hosting it. It's going to be a private seminar. All money goes to charity, to the autism awareness in Florida. Coach Hutch, what's the plans for you this week for Totem Pole Nation? Do you have anything?
Totem Pole Nation, I know, is going to be checking out the Nuggets and the Suns tonight, 10 o'clock, as well as the Boston Celtics and the Philly 76ers tonight at 7:30. So basketball playoffs are winding down, but they're also ramping up right now. As far as Totem Pole Nation goes, I mean, there are all sorts of different things are happening. Formula One is going to Miami this weekend. So here in the United States, I will not be at that one, but I'll be watching it. Hopefully it's more entertaining than this past weekend's race. And yeah, just doing what we need to get done for our boys, doing what we need to get done for the channel, and looking forward to seeing all the people coming on your show, Coach, in the clinic.
Life lessons. Sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. Coach Bald, why did you make that the title of today's show?
Well, myself, what I like to do sometimes when I'm down is I like to go pick other people up, try to brighten their days and stuff like that. And that was all my intentions were for, a guy I just have the utmost respect for. And that's Coach Mouse, Jim McNally. Those are my intentions were only good. And, I apologize that it didn't do that for you. And that's all I can say. I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. I should have got your approval. So, hey, man, I'm learning. You know what I mean? I don't have all the answers, but I have a good group around me that will help me pull me up and get me the right answers, or get me in front of the people that will give me the right answers. So that's kind of my life lesson today. Just utmost respect. And let me ask you this, Coach, for that clinic this weekend that Totem Pole is sponsoring, will any clips be available or any live footage be available as it's going on, or?
For you, yes.
Okay.
You get a free link.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You can watch them all.
Thank you.
Coach Hutch too, because we're putting this thing on, and I may need y'all's help running it. I think Saturday, my son's birthday party.
Oh man, awesome!
Yeah, but
we're doing my mom's birthday lunch Saturday too. So
I'll figure it out. I always do. We're too blessed. Coach Hutch, what is your life lesson for today?
I'm just going to bounce off, what Coach Ball said is, history has been made by that statement right there. You have to go out and do things. There have been people across time that have gone with what they thought was the right thing to do, went out and did it. It was frowned upon by some others, but then the end result was a positive. Can always go the other side too. But again, if you're sound in your beliefs and your core values, then 100% it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Coach Bald, St. Pete Rejuvenate, our sponsor.
Check us out, St. Pete Rejuvenate, stpeterejuvenate.com. We're going to be announcing the winner here live here in a little bit. Don't want to put a time on it, probably around the noonish time. But we're just going to go live with it, announce the winner. And just check out the website. Health is wealth. We're trying to take care of everything. People that are depressed or people that want to look better, feel better. There's so many different things that we do there at the clinic. So get in contact with us, book an appointment. And we just appreciate you guys and Totem Pole Nation. We're doing it. We're doing it big. It is showtime.
It is showtime.
Cultivate wellness, Coach.
So, just like Coach said, if you got any issues, you got a bad back, you got some sore knees, your hands are hurting from working, your feet are hurting from working, go out and check out Cultivate Wellness, get you some CBD gummies, get you some capsules, some tinctures. Like I said previously, the muscle roll-on is fantastic. And go ahead and fight those issues that you're having and feel better. That's what the wellness is for. We want everybody to be well. So check them out, cultivatewellness.com. Give them a call as well. They will gladly talk to you about any issues that you're having and provide the best possible solution that they have for you. But again, always talk to your doctor before starting any type of routine.
Amen. Life lesson, Coach. I'm just going to go off of what Coach Bob Wiley preached about. He said, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Think big. Get Dick LeBeau to send a video message to Jim McNally. Get Bob Wiley to do a 5-hour podcast and break the Guinness Book World Record for the longest offensive line podcast of all time. The man never got up out of his chair. He never went to the bathroom one time. He spoke nonstop with a mic that was messing up every 3 seconds with the 5-second delay from any questions that were being asked. We made history. We are documenting history. We are history. We are Totem Pole Nation. We're the low man on the totem pole. But the low man always wins. We like being the common man. All right. We like driving a 1988 Silverado truck. Coach Bald, what kind of car you got?
Next question.
Exactly. Like Bob Wiley said, how many of you are going to jump in a car today and drive? And I said, well, not me. Because the window got busted out of my dad's
never
truck.
owned a one-owner
See,
vehicle
2 out of 3
before.
of us don't even have a car. That's right. That's right. That's what that eyebrow was going up good right there, man. I had that junk was like the Rock. Thing was like going way up. 2 out of 3 of us don't even have a car. That's the low man on the totem pole. Coach Hutch, what are you driving?
Right now, I'm driving a hand-me-down Escalade.
How many miles?
Not Escalade, sorry, SRX, and it's got 188,000 miles.
It's still got another 50 on it. Good,
easy.
We are Totem Pole
Before
Nation.
that, I had a 250,000 mile GMC Yukon.
That's right. That thing's a tank. If anybody needs that, I saw some kids took a tank to the prom. You could borrow his Escalade or Yukon. That's a tank. All right.
Showtime, Totem Pole Nation.
Next episode.
Y'all the best.
We will be back.